Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Philly Factor. I'm your host, Paul Perrello. My next guest is no stranger to the Philly Factor. It's been quite some time since we last caught up with Patricia Gallagher. But as we learned many, many years ago when Patricia was on the program, she was talking about her flower project, which is still ongoing. But now she's involved in one of many other projects. And I have to say, Patricia, of all the people I've interviewed on this program, I don't know how you do it because you are like the Energizer Bunny. You just keep on going. You don't stop.
Well, I don't know. I'm glad I have a lot of energy.
Well, that's important. That's really important. And the other thing that I like is that Patricia believes, and there's a lot of truth to this, that the smallest act of kindness really goes a long way. And she's involved in another project now, the Kindness Project. She's an author. She's involved in many other initiatives out in the community. And she joins us here on the program. And tell us a little bit about this new initiative that you're embarking on, the Kindness Project, because I think in our world, especially in these days, a little bit of kindness goes a long way, Patricia.
Well, I guess I was just thinking about split second kindness, that it only takes a split second to give somebody a compliment or to open the door or to return a shopping cart for someone. What if it was intentional? What if we taught the kids the mantra every day of do a split second act of kindness? Just a little act of kindness. For example, a friend gave me a Campbell's soup can about 2 months ago, and it was empty. It said Campbell's soup, but it just had some wildflowers. I mean, just from the side of the road. And when she put that on my porch table, and I looked at that little Campbell's soup can, it really touched my heart. It wasn't a fancy vase. You didn't have to go to the dollar store. It was wildflowers, either from her garden. And I just kind of replicated that idea with my grandchildren during the summer. We were just filling cans with whatever. And it made everybody feel good, the recipient as well as me, and hopefully teaching the grandkids a little bit about kindness too.
As I said, our world really needs this type of thing, especially today, given what's going on in the world, whether in our community or clear across the other side of the globe. And how do people react, though? I mean, it's one thing to embark on this mission of kindness, but I would guess that some people are they may look at you or whoever your volunteer might be carrying out this act of kindness and like look at you like, oh, why are you doing this for me? It's sort of it's refreshing, but some people may not really grasp the idea from the get-go of what it is that you're trying to do.
In a way, Paul, I think it's a little selfish. It makes me feel so good to do it. For example, this morning I picked up about 60 bouquets of flowers. And I just knew a few people that I was going to take them to, people that were shut ins that just put them on their porch. Another one was a grieving mother. But then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go up and down Cone Street, George Street in Norristown, and just roll down my window and say, "Hi, miss, excuse me. We're collective, just me. We're passing out free bouquets of flowers. Would you like one?" And the lady came and she took some. And then I said, "Are you going to see anybody else?" Just putting a little, I guess I call it a little twinkle or a little sparkle, just doing something kind for somebody else just changes the energy of the world.
The project, this kindness project that you're involved in, is just one of the many things that you're involved in. You talked about the flower initiative too, which we had you on um, um, before talking about. But Patricia, you aren't going out and growing these flowers, and you have partners in the community. You mentioned before in the show some of the other stores and businesses in the community that are helping you in your mission, and these are basically stores that would otherwise get rid of the flowers in the trash, but they donate them to you, and that in turn helps you in your mission to make someone else's day a bit brighter.
That's true. And the stores are giving away the flowers because they're close to the expiration date, or maybe they're just not up to standards. And they're happy to share them with someone that will pass them out. But I've also found that after weddings or showers or events, different people will call and say, we're having a retirement dinner and we have centerpieces. I went to a family wedding at Four Seasons in September, and I'm looking at all these roses. I mean, the roses, roses, roses. And I said to the event planner, what are you going to do with these after the event? And she just kind of like, well, she didn't want to say we're going to throw them away. And I said, can I come back tomorrow morning? And I went back the next morning, and she probably gave me 4 carts of these flowers. I would say 150, 200. And that day it was a little bit rainy, and I thought, what can I do with them? And in Norristown, on one street, a lady has a sharing table outside where people from the community just leave things they don't need, things that are in good condition. She wouldn't want a lot of junk, not bags of clothes or anything. But I thought, I'll put those roses there and see what happens. And I put them there, and I thought, oh, if nobody picks them up, I'll go gather them and take them somewhere else. And I came back about an hour and a half later, and they weren't there. And it just made me feel so good to think that more than 100 people, or maybe a few people, took more than 100 flowers and they graced somebody else with them. Um, so there's just so many things that you can do. That's the flowers. And it's a funeral home. You can contact them and say, what are you doing with the flowers? An event planner, a store. But with the stores, they want you to be a nonprofit. So you can affiliate yourself with your church or the Girl Scouts and just say, hey, I would like to do this, but I have to be kind of partnering with you. And that's what I was able to do.
Yeah, that's important advice that you just shared with us there, because the last thing is, I mean, it's a shame in this day and age that we have to sort of position ourselves, and we want to do something good, but if we don't fit the criteria of what it is that businesses want as that criteria, sometimes the like a parent or a school project. Maybe it's a little different with a school project, but a parent, as a result of maybe listening to this interview or watching this, they think this would be a great service project for my children, or for our school, or for our community group, or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
because they're not a nonprofit, they may have a difficult time partnering with someone in the community. But so, what type of advice can you give parents who want to do something like this? And I know you've written numerous books about doing this very thing. What type of advice, Patricia, can you give parents, guardians, teachers, um, who want to embark on a project like this, but maybe say, I don't know which way to turn. I don't know where to go. I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it.
Well, they don't have to do a big project like I do. I was doing it 5 times a week, and I stopped counting at 65,000 bouquets. And that
Wow.
was a few years ago. But what I would say to those parents is just go on Facebook and say, hey, after an event, after a dinner, after a party, can you save your flowers for me? And then have your kids go to the dollar store and get some dollar store vases, or get some Campbell soup cans, or whatever it would be. Put them on your kitchen table, and some Sunday afternoon, just trim those flowers and just walk into a nursing home and just ask for the activity director, maybe call ahead of time and say, we brought 12 containers of flowers. Would you like these for the dining room table? Is there somebody that doesn't get visitors? We did that yesterday at St. Mary's Home. I was working with an organization called So Much to Give, and it's for young adults that have different abilities. And we just went to the dollar store and bought black Halloween cups, black. And then we had stickers, Halloween stickers. And these 12 kids and their parents or their caregivers, they had the ability to put the stickers on the cups. And then the mothers trimmed the flowers. We put all the flowers in the cups. We went to St. Mary's Home, and I guess we had about 60 containers with flowers. That means that we went from person to person. The kids and their parents, the kids just went up and said trick or treat, or here's flowers, or maybe they weren't verbal. But so many people were affected by just having leftover flowers. Another lady, a story that I just love, is in December, I went to the North Wales Library, and there were a lot of crocheted blankets and shawls. and they were like $4. And I went, $4? I mean, this is so cheap. And I thought, well, I said to the lady at the desk, I said, can I buy 30 of them? Can I buy all of them? So it was $120, or I don't know what it came to, something like that. And I just knew I could take them to a nursing home and say to the activity director, can I give these beautiful blankets out? Well, I got the lady's name and I called her to tell her where the blankets went. And she has now made 165 of these shawls for me since last December.
Wow.
Yesterday, when we took the flowers to St. Mary's, these young people, we also had gift bags. They were able to put the stickers on. They were able to roll them into the bag. And once again at St. Mary's, we gave out loads of flowers in the cups, but we gave out loads of blankets. And for this particular lady, she has cancer. She's an elderly lady with cancer, but this is giving her, she said, something to do and a purpose. And she just loves the fact that I tell her where these flowers went. I'm sorry, where these blankets went or shawls. And so it's win, win, win. But she doesn't want her picture taken. She doesn't want her name. She doesn't want an article about her. She'll just call and say, I have 18 blankets for you. And I'll say, didn't I just come 2.5 weeks ago? How could you have made 18 more? And her husband said she just keeps making them. She won't take a donation for yarn. She won't take a donation of yarn. It's with her own money. She's buying all this yarn online and just making these blankets for me. I
Wow.
mean, it's such a beautiful thing.
Sure. It's fascinating work on both your end, her end, and the ultimate goal of shedding some kindness and sunshine in someone's life in a nursing home. And you're right. So often, family members don't have as much time as they would prefer, or in some cases, there may not be family members to visit these people in nursing homes. So this really goes a long way of spreading that kindness from practically total strangers. These people that are recipients of these flowers and of these blankets, these shawls, they don't may not necessarily know the people on the giving end of it,
Mhm.
but it really makes their day, the people that receive these items, so much better. It means that
Mhm.
people still care. People are still concerned about them, and we uh, should all take a lesson uh, from Trisha and the people that she's working with, because we, doing our own part, can make the world so much better, not only for ourselves but for everybody else. And I know as we get into the holiday season now, Trisha, I think one of the other projects you had talked to us about was a project involving Christmas cards. Everybody, well, we don't necessarily. I mean, some traditions have just fallen by the wayside, but we don't necessarily mail Christmas cards like we did 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But again, these people that are shut-ins, these people that are in nursing homes who may not see family members or for whatever reason have anybody, but just a Christmas card
Mhm.
that they receive really can make their day so much
Mhm.
brighter and so much better. Are you still involved with the Christmas card project with schools?
Yeah, yeah, I am, but in a different way last year. We worked with, there's an organization, Jake's Barista in Trooper, Pennsylvania, and they work with special needs adults to work in their coffee shop. But the group called the Soaring Eagles, they're for transitional students from Norristown High. These are the kids with different abilities that are maybe 18 to 21. So we would get together at the coffee shop and they would make the cards. And then we made what we call granny bags. We just got Christmas bags and we just asked people from the community if they would put little dollar store items, $7 store items, a pack of lifesavers, a comb, little things like that. And the kids and I just like filled these bags. Last Christmas, I guess we did about 1,000 bags. It was the kids from the transitional school at Upper Merion, the kids from the transitional at Norristown, and Angela and her son that started Jake's Barista. And everybody had fun doing this. We did it for 4 weeks. We packed these bags, and then I just took them to different nursing homes. The other project that is easy to do are collecting stuffed animals. When I collected 11,000 stuffed animals a few years ago, that was because I posted on Craigslist and Facebook and asked people if they would donate their kids' stuffed animals. But it got a little cumbersome because some of the nursing homes really wanted to make sure that they were sanitary and they didn't have any whatever. So
Right.
last year I asked people if they would go to the dollar store and maybe their kids could pick out 10 elves or whatever. And people brought them to Jake's Barista and we put a stuffed animal with, the little we call it the granny bag. That may not be politically correct, but that's what I thought of when I started doing it. And we gave out like 1,000 stuffed animals doing that last year. And I'm going to do that again this year as well.
Where can people find out more information about you, Tricia, where they can go and participate in some of your projects and maybe even start a few projects of their own? Can you give us your website where people could find out more information?
On my website, www.happyflowerday.org, happyflowerday.org. If people scroll down, they'll see where they can freely download my book about how to start a Happy Flower Day project or how to start collecting stuffed animals. And there's also lots of YouTube videos of just me answering frequently asked questions about these projects. So I would encourage people to just start small, even go to one of the local groceries, the produce junction type places, and just buy 5 bouquets of flowers, buy 3, and take your husband and your kids and just walk into a nursing home and say, here's 3 bouquets of flowers. Is there somebody that needs it today? No one will turn you away. So you don't have to do anything big. You can do these split-second acts of kindness.
How did you launch into this career? There are a lot of people out there doing a lot of great things. Many of them started in, work in nonprofits. They have a background in this, but uh, from where you came from, Tricia, I mean, give us a little bit of an idea of how you launched a career into not only being an author, but to be sort of like this angel of kindness that is out there in the community.
Well, thank you, but that's quite an exaggeration. But my early part of my life, I had a teaching degree from Villanova, so I taught for a few years, and then I started working for AT&T, and I went back to school and got an MBA in finance. But honestly, I don't know a debit from a credit. I don't. It was just I was going to college with my husband at graduate school. We were taking this class together, and we helped each other study. But he went on to continue working in the corporate world, and I had 4 children. So I was a stay-at-home mom all my life, and now I'm 72. But during that time of staying home, I was always trying to supplement John's income. So I would have these little entrepreneurial type businesses. And one of them was I started writing about whatever our family was going through. I wrote a book, Raising Happy Kids on a Budget, and I wrote a book, Start Your Own Child Care Business. But when the kids got older and I was an empty nester, I went to live with my mother for a short period of time because she had broken her hip and she was, I guess, about 85 at the time. And every day we were doing outings. Sometimes I'd take her to dances at the VFW with me, Bible studies, whatever. But one of my daughters said, why don't you and Mom pick up flowers? And we started doing that project. But another time it was around Christmas. And I said, Mom, do you want to go read Twas the Night Before Christmas to some people at a nursing home? She said, sure. So we went to the dollar store and we bought 10 copies of Twas the Night Before Christmas. I called Ivy Hill Nursing Home that morning and said, can my mother and I come and read to your residents? I had no experience with nursing homes, but I just knew that my Aunt Mary was lonely in her nursing home. And we went, we read Twas the Night Before Christmas in the morning. And then that afternoon, we went to Genesis over in Wyncote and read the same story there. But what I noticed was that the people, we brought props along with us. I went through all my Christmas boxes, and when we read the story, each resident was holding a teddy bear or a football or a Christmas ornament. But that was just not for keeps. We were just letting them hold it to make it festive. But then after we read the story and we went to collect all these beautiful Christmas decorations. They didn't want to give them up. They thought it was a gift, but I needed them for the Genesis place. And that day, that night, I felt as high as a kite. My mother did too. And then I posted something on Facebook. Does anybody have any extra Christmas decorations or stuffed animals? Because we want to do this again and again and again, the Christmas season. And so we put my stuff back in the box, but we had all these boxes of other ornaments. So wherever we went, each resident got to keep a lot. And that year was about 2011. I think that Christmas season, we probably went to 14 nursing homes, including the Veterans Home up in Spring City. And those men, those older men, they enjoyed that story just as much as the women at Ivy Hill and Genesis and the places. I think that's how it started. It started with us reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and then it kind of enveloped with the stuffed animals and the flowers and the granny bags.
We just have a few minutes left, Patricia, and I just want to ask you, what is it that you hope not only you get out of this mission that you're on, but what do you hope that other people take away from this interview and they get started in their own mission? What is it you hope to accomplish by this?
I think just to remind everybody, and everybody knows this, kindness is free, kindness is contagious, kindness is easy to do. And it's nice to involve your children, school children, your elderly parent. Like, you can do it with anybody. Like, and you don't need money. Everything I do is free and fun. I mean, it does cost me a lot of gas. It does cost me a lot of time, but they really aren't expenses. They're things that just make me so happy. I honestly, Paul, I never have a bad day. And if I am feeling lonely or sad or anything about anything in my life, the quickest cure for me is to say, hey, I'm going to go pick up flowers, or I have 15 stuffed animals. I'm going to go do something with them. Um, I guess the reward is giving. Um, let's see. I think it was a guy named John Wesley that said, "Do all the good you can in all the ways you can, whenever you can, while you can." And I think that mantra is a great way to live because you feel so good yourself when you're doing something kind for somebody else.
Well, that's a great way to wrap up this interview. That's some great advice, and I hope we could do a little bit of kindness, a little bit of work on our end here to help spread your word and to increase your mission. Tricia Gallagher, I want to thank you so much for your time once again. Keep doing what you're doing. World needs more people like you, and not just the world, like clear across the other side of the globe, but just other people in our community just like you to make this a better place. And thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you for interviewing me and letting me spread the word. I
Sure.
appreciate it.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul Perrello. Thanks so much for being with us on this edition of the Philly Factor. We'll catch you next time around.